Shalom, friends in Pasadena and beyond. It is I, your friendly neighborhood Rabbi John Carrier, welcoming you to day number 23 of the Elul Daily with PJTC. I am so excited that we are about to get into the fourth and final week of this series, talking about responsibility, talking about Heshbon Hanefesh, accounting for the soul, if you will, as we prepare to go into the high holidays. We'll get into the main idea of the week in just a second. First, I just realized that my keeper of the day is my trusty Dodgers cap, and I just read an article this morning about how the Dodgers are now the most hated team in baseball. And even as I touch it, I realized my dog's got into the act. I think Callie ate the button off the top of my hat. It's got that sharp pointy thing on it now, so I don't know how much longer this is going to be the keep of the day. But I digest. As I was saying before, Elul is a time of Heshbon Hanefesh, spiritual introspection, accounting for our deeds as we make plans for growth in the year to come. This whole month we've been looking at that accounting in terms of responsibility. What are we responsible for to ourselves, to our friends and family, to our community? In this final week before Rosh Hashanah, I want to layer on an additional circle of responsibility, and that is responsibility to our world. I mean that both in the sense of the planet that we walk on and the people who are walking on it, and not just the people. One of my favorite texts, or rather set of texts, on our responsibility to the world has to do with the creation of the world, the creation of people in the world. There's actually two different stories in Sefer Bereshit, in the book of Genesis, on the creation of humanity. In chapter 1, it talks about us being created as masters of the world, as we're going to rule the fish of the sea and the beasts of the earth, and we're going to be in charge of everything. In chapter 2, the story of our creation is told slightly differently, and one major modification is that it says we are stewards of the earth. We are there to tend the garden, as it were. And those are two very different, although not entirely mutually exclusive roles. If you are in charge of something, you are also responsible for it. So this week we're going to be talking a lot about our responsibility toward the planet that we live on, but also the people, and not just people, who live on that planet. And I'm going to start with kashrut. That is the fitness or appropriateness of what we feed our bodies with. And look, I'm not here to dog you about your cheeseburgers or make you check ingredient labels on ketchup bottles or anything like that. What I really want to do is look at chapter 1 of Genesis right near the end, where it says that humanity was created, placed in the garden to master it, placed master over all the fishes of the sea, etc. And then God says, okay, here in this garden, I am putting all sorts of seed-bearing plants and fruit trees and stuff for you to eat and for everything to eat. Meaning, if you read it literally, that even the lions were vegetarians back then. I know, right? And I'm not making this video to push a particular diet on you. I'm a huge fan of keeping kosher personally, just because of the spiritual benefits that I get out of it. I'm not strictly a vegetarian, much less a vegan, though I eat a lot less meat than I used to. I'm just here to establish some mindfulness for today's question of the day. How does your diet reflect your responsibility for the world? How does what you put in your body to fuel it, to give you strength, reflect your place in this world, whether as master of it or steward of it, or both? For some people, their diet is very intentional based on the impact that they want to have on the world. Just like for some people, especially some Jewish people, their diet reflects their sense of responsibility toward the author of the world. For some people, that's not the case. Food is fuel. However, they make dietary choices based on the connection they feel to their community or their parents or where they come from. All of these things can be true. I'm asking, what's true for you? So that's the question of the day. How does your diet reflect your sense of responsibility to the world? Think about your answer. I'd be really curious to hear some of these. Even if you don't share it with me, though, I highly suggest you write it down. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss a single video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so other people can find it too. Thanks again for watching on this day 23 of the Elul Daily with PJTC. Until next time, peace.